Hi, welcome. I'm Jessie Walters from Charles Rutenberg, and I'm here today just to talk to you guys about real estate, the normal updates and what's going on with the market. We're still pretty busy in Florida, or I could say really busy in Florida. I know that the news says that the real estate market is slowing. Like I always say, Florida's a little different. We beat to a different drum, definitely. I actually I have been enjoying the Florida, like living here like a tourist. So we went to Clearwater Beach. I even took a picture of a sunset for you guys, which I'll throw up there. And it was just a beautiful day. We went out and just pretended to be tourists, and we always say we vacation or they vacation where we live or vice versa, but look at that. That's just a cell phone, picture and stuff, just a gorgeous sunset. But I do have some listings that I'll show you guys and some interesting numbers and stuff on different ones that I've wrote under contract too. So this will give you an idea. So I have some lots that are for sale. And I know I always throw these up, but you never know when you'll need any lots. A couple of them I had took down because I think I told you guys we had the conspiracy theory on some of the lots on the ownership, but these are still available. This one is Petunia. It is located, it's located on Petunia, and this one has like I was saying, the setback or the, when they do, what's it called? Sorry, so the purple line right there is the end of the property line, and then the easement, that's it. So the easement goes out further, but that's a nice lot to build on. And like I was saying last time, the actual neighborhood has really built up a lot. So we're going to have to get some new updated pictures, but you can kind of see there's pool cages across from it and stuff like that. And there's the canal, and you can see the easement where on the ends of the lot for the water, but that's a good sized property and stuff too. So that's that one is for sale. And then we have another one. Let's see, we've got, which one's going to come up? We've got maybe, is it Boyd? Let's see. Yep, there we go. Okay. And we have this one for sale. This one, like I was saying last time, you don't have a lot of clearance on that one as far as having to remove trees and stuff like that for the build. So you're good as far as that. And that property, like I said, ready to just put a home on there. So if you guys are looking to build, please contact me. I do have more lots coming up too. So these are a couple that are for sale. And then I do have also 9334 State Road 52, which is a commercial property. This property is a tire shop currently right now. The business comes with it for $450. It's 9334 State Road 52, great property. And I did have an inquiry last week, and they wanted to know how high the ceilings were inside, and they're 10 foot. So I went out there with the measuring tape and just measured. There is room to put another lift up in the back of the property. There's lots of room to grow there, right next to Dunkin' Donuts on State Road 52. Great location. As you can see, they got the lifts and they got the mobile lifts, lots of tires. And of course, it is currently a tire shop right now, but you could do your own mechanics or whatever it is that you wanted to do. It's pretty much, I would say, easy to turn that into a lot of different places. The property next door is for sale as well. So I'm not sure if someone's going to want to just rip this place down and see the property, the orange roof there. That one is for sale as well. And just build like some monstrosity of some business there. But we haven't been contacted yet, but we'll see if someone actually wants to do like a joint venture and rip all both of those places out. But this property is a great, location, great price. Pretty much had a lot of inquiries on it, but no takers as of yet. And you can see the parking lot right there. That's Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. So it is definitely up and coming right across from the high school there, 5A high school, kind of catty corner to McDonald's, a couple businesses up. It's Taco Bell. And then it's between Little Road and Chicago Avenue on State Road 52. And you can even see the McDonald's there, little arches. So it's a stone's throw from there, but you're basically between Chicago, Little Road on State Road 52 on the east side, heading on the east side of the property and stuff. So that's actually a great location if you're looking for a commercial building for yourself, or you're looking to open a new business or even take over the tire shop. Then I also had La Quinta, which is under contract. We're supposed to be closing at the end of the month on this one. Everything's been done as far as the this property. So what happens is when you go under contract, obviously they write a contract, and then you have a home inspection, and then from the home inspection, then you have the appraisal, and then the bank appraiser goes out and says, yeah, your contract price is correct. We verifies the actual appraisal amount, and then from there we have the surveyor, and the surveyor is usually the last thing on the loan. The surveyor just puts the stakes in the property, in the yard, the four corners of the yard, and then we're ready to go. So that's where we're at right now. The appraiser is, appraisal is done, and the surveyor was out there yesterday. So we're pretty much on the way to the end of the closing. But if this does come up available, again, then I'll let you guys know. But this one was a great deal, and I had so many inquiries on it because anything under $200,000 now in Pasco County, you do get a lot of inquiries, and just a great location, River Ridge property, very sought after. It does look original as far as the actual. It is all original. But the people that had purchased it were only visiting, from Northerners. They would only visit like once a year, so that everything's pretty pristine, even though it's older and it's that original, mauve carpet and the original tiles and swans and all that stuff that's in there. Everything runs real well. The newer thing on it is the air conditioner, and the roofs are covered under the HOA. So it's a nice corner lot. So you're on the end, has a carport, storage area. And like I said, these are pretty sought after. I had a lot of people, after this one, but we wrote a contract quick on it, and it is under contract to a first-time home buyer. So we like those too, because it's nice to actually help someone out get their first home, and it's affordable, which a lot of stuff right now is not that affordable. So that one is a great deal. So we had La Quinta. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think if that's it. I had some. I was showing a lot of new construction properties, and I wrote some contracts on some too. So I had one in Dade City that we're closing at the end of the month. Let's see if I can put that. It's a 2-story. I think the shutters on it were just being painted at the time of this picture. But this property, Dade City, I just wanted to show you guys so you can get into. So see this property right here? You can get into something like this for around $325, and then this property's 2,000, just over 2,000 square foot. So you got a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, Dade City, and like I said, $335, $345. New construction, closing costs. This is a great property, great opportunity. I did this contract. This one's under contract, but there are others which I can show you guys. If you are interested in a purchase. Affordable purchase. It's a great location, and it's actually near, I want to say, the Dade City, off of State Road 52, near the high school. So that's a nice location. And then I had showed this other one. This location, this one I did not write a contract on. This one is still available. It is for $35, but there were some incentives off this one too. It was a new construction. And this one's over, I want to say 2,300 square foot. A great location as far as it's an HOA neighborhood. The HOA is real low on it. There's no CDD, just like the other one. There's no CDD, and so you can still get some pretty good deals as far as when you're looking for. Actually, this one's over 2,400 square foot. Yeah, so there are some good deals. This one has incentives to close. Closing costs, etc. Deed restricted community on like a little canal type looking water, more like a pond because it's not tidal or anything. But this actually is a good deal as far as what's available. We were driving around a lot of different places for $400, and a lot of them still needed to be painted, new carpet. Just stuff TLC, where this one's brand new, new construction, ready to go. They only had 2 of these left. So if you're interested in, in this property, just let me know, because I believe there's only 2 at that actual price range and stuff. So if you're looking for that opportunity. And so those are the ones that I have wrote contracts on. But like I said, the last one I did not. But I took a funny picture. I don't know if that one comes up, but I took a funny picture of when we go into the houses, we usually call it like the Harry Potter closet, meaning that there's underneath the stairs when you get in. Yeah, it has. So these are my customers. They won't care if I throw that up there. But they were in the closet, and I was pretending to lock them in the closet, but they were seeing how far back this closet went, and it was hilarious. So I took a picture of them, and that was the big house. That was 435 and in Hudson and stuff. And that one, they were in there, and it's just a huge closet. It goes around the corners and stuff like that. So I got a kick out of them running. They ran in there, so I was like, quick, I'm going to lock you guys in here. So anyway, those are the ones that I have under contract. I have actually more. Actually, there was one in Ruskin. I don't know if I sent you guys that. That one was I put under contract too. It was interesting because Open Door, which I usually don't like to mention their names, but that was the it's under contract, or it's the listing agent is Open Door, and so Open Door went in and purchased this property and then fixed it up and then put it out for sale. A lot of times Open Door in a lot of different apps like that, usually you get about 10% less than the market value. So if you're in a quick or a predicament and you're trying to just get out from under the house, usually you lose about, like if it's 400 grand, you'll lose about 40,000 is the actual the estimate as far as statistically. If you look up Open Door or any of those, we buy houses for cash. Usually they get you for at least 10%. So what happens is they'll say, well, you're going to save all this money because you don't have realtors, you don't have, we're going to pay all the closing costs, we're going to do all this. But then when they send the home inspectors out to your house is when they actually, I guess, beat you up on the home inspection and then take the actual money off. So you'll see a transaction. I thought this was interesting from Open Door, and it will say a number that they purchased it from, but they don't put the repair list on there. So it looks, wow, my neighbor got market value, but then in fact, they had to give them so much for the roof, for the AC, for the flooring, for the kitchen, for the appliances. They had to give them so much off. So a lot of times you'll see, like for instance, there was one that I saw, it said 470, and then they have it for sale for 415. So you think to yourself, how could they buy it for 470, do all these repairs because they painted it, put new carpet in it, and stuff, and how could they do all these repairs when it's I see it recorded at the county, the property appraiser shows it at this amount. It's because they don't put the repairs on there because it's not part of the net, it's that separate, so it makes them look like a good deal. So remember, always get a second opinion on that. If you're going to go with one of those companies that just comes in and buys your house for cash, make sure you have a realtor come out and say, how long is this neighborhood to close? If it's 30 days, 60 days, would you wait another 60 days for $40,000 more? Most of the time people will wait, for 30,000 more, 20,000 more, you'll wait those extra, 30 days to 60 days to get that extra money. But I have had customers who are about to lose another home. And so they'll just say, well, I'm going to just go through them. Open Door will deal with realtors. If you're selling and you have a listing, they will come in and they'll still take care of the realtor a little teeny bit so you can get your money back, like say on your pictures and stuff like that. But they do, like I said, usually beat up the clients about 10%. So if your house is 400, they're going to come in and say it needs $40,000 worth of repairs. And there's actually apps on it now where you can put it in. Nightberry.com it has a app where it actually has the vendors where you can put in so you can see, but the average is 10%. So I kind of just to make sure you guys are educated on that. Don't go crazy. Just be patient. Get a realtor. Call me. I'll help you list it. So we're going to talk. We're going to talk in a couple minutes on the next break. We're going to talk after the next break. We're going to talk about flood insurance and how to either get your flood insurance reduced or how to actually apply for with FEMA. So if you guys have a computer and you want to grab it or get a pen and paper, we'll talk about, and you can take some notes on how to redesignate your flood insurance. So if you just got something in the mail from your lender that said flood insurance is required and you've never had this before, if you're on a lake or if you have any water touching your property, say, you're on a pond or there's a retention or something where your property touches water, there's a way to redesignate your flood codes so that you can get either a lesser flood insurance premium than the bank's asking you to get, or actually take you out of the flood area. Now, this isn't going to work for like coastal properties. So if you're in, say, Clearwater Beach, Mandalay, it's not going to take you out of a flood zone. You guys are in a flood zone. You're waterfront, you're living on the beach, living your best life. You're going to pay big flood insurance money. And usually if you're on Mandalay or Clearwater Beach area, you can afford it, even though we don't want to. Unless you pay cash for your house, then you don't have to get flood insurance. But then you also do have all the risk there too. So if you spent, like I just had one, $2.4 million for a condo on Mandalay, and you're going to have flood insurance there. And if you don't get flood insurance and you have cash and you pay for it, you also, you could lose your investment, your whole life, and you're retired there. You could actually lose your investment. So it's better to get that flood insurance. Of course, the higher up you are in those condos, the less the flood insurance is. But what I'm going to show you guys, excuse me, is not going to be for that situation, like where you're in, say, Newport Richey Gulf Harbors, or just one of those where you're actually touching the water in the Gulf of Mexico. It might help a little bit, but I doubt it to change your designation as far as your flood plains and stuff like that. But if you're in a residential neighborhood and, like I said, you just received a letter in the last year and it says you're mandatory for flood insurance, and like I said, you never were before, then we're gonna teach you how to reapply for it or to apply for a different designation for your flood zone. Sounds confusing, but it's not that confusing. And if you guys get stuck with it, I can always help you do that too. But get your computers out, get a pen and paper, and we're going to go to FEMA.gov. First, we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to go to FEMA.gov, and then we're going to go step by step, and I'll show you guys how to do this. All right, hold tight. We'll be right back. Thanks for joining me. Hey, welcome back. I'm Jessie Walters with Charles Rutenberg, and I'm going to show you guys about how to change your flood designation. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to FEMA.gov. So when you get that up, this is what it looks like. And then when you click on it, everything kind of comes down. So we're going to go to this one, change your flood zone designation. Okay, so when you change your flood designation, it's going to show you all here how to do it, how to submit, which I do suggest you guys to kind of go through here. What you're going to need, the letter from FEMA stating that it's been revised, or letter of map. This is what's going to happen after you've submitted all this stuff. So as you go down to the bottom here, you're going to get to submit request online, and you're going to click on that. So when you click on that, as you can see here, online letter of map change. Okay, so this is where it gets a little interesting. So when I have a customer, what I do is I usually say, hey, what's your email address? Because you're not on, well, I don't know if it's illegal, but you're supposed to do it for yourself. So I usually help my customers. I do it with them. So I'm like, okay, what's your email address? We make the login. And so if you're a new user, you'd go here and make your login, and you're going to go in, you're going to sign in. It's going to send you a code back to your email. And so you're going to verify that email. So if you're doing it for your customer, you're going to want them to be with you so they can show you the codes, or you're helping them on the phone and you're getting the code back and forth. So then you've got the login. We've got the online map change. Okay, so when we go back and on here, you're going to click. This is not my computer. So this is going to tell you all the stuff that is in here, all the different things that you're going to need, additional requirements and stuff like that. The main thing is going to be that I'm going to tell you guys to get would be you're going to go to the property appraiser. Let's see if I can get this thing here. So we're going to go, okay, we're going to go here, and you're going to go to, let's just say, Pasco, whoops. Ooh, I'm off a letter. This is not my computer, so I'm slow. Let's just say Pasco County Property Appraiser. So we're going to click on that. Okay. In there, they're going to ask for your actual parcel number and this. So let's just say you go to property appraiser, depending which county that you're in, you're going to put your name into the property appraiser's office, or you're going to put your address into the property appraiser's office. This one's Pasco County, so you'd put your address in here. So for instance, let's just say this one, 8606. Let's just use this as an example, Alamanda, and then we'll hit submit. Okay, it's going to come up Hudson. Okay, it's property, and then on here, your flood determination on here, this one says FEMA multiple zones, right? So you're going to print this whole page out here, and then that's going to show the ownership for when we go back to here, when we get back in here and we start to submit the stuff that you're going to need. So you're going to gather up the documents that you need, which is here. Gather your letter of map change. So you're going to go to the location, your legal description, and then you're going to fill that in. Download a payment form. I don't remember there being a payment last time, but they might have changed it. Okay, so you're going to have so I have my Pasco County Property Appraiser. I'm going to upload it in here, which is going to be on here where it says online LOMC application. Gosh, this thing, it makes you dizzy. There it is. Application requires specific about the property. So that, again, takes you back to there, which when you log in, that's where you're going to upload it. So you're going to put in here, when it asks for downloading, you're going to go to the property appraiser, get the map. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to you're going to get a surveyor, and you're going to get a elevation, elevation certificate. And what is an elevation certificate? So if you're just buying your house and you want to know what the actual a community's permanent most official record of new buildings. So your elevation certificate, is it required in Florida? No. How much is the elevation certificate? Between $350 to $550, so $400 is like an average price on it. So what you can do is when they get the survey, and you're buying a new home and it's in the flood zone, it's not that much money to add it on to the survey. So if you're doing a new home purchase right now and you're like, oh, I have flood insurance, it's just minimal, it's not that much. It would be worth your while to get that elevation certificate, because spending $350 could save you, probably $500 first year, second year, third year. So you want to just add this in with that survey that they're going to purchase anyway. So it's cheaper because the surveyors out there, and they're in fact the ones who do the elevation certificate. So the elevation is going to show, let's see, how do I get an elevation certificate in Florida? So it should be just what I told you guys. Let's see, this thing. Okay. there are a few ways. Okay, so floodplain, which I usually just go to the surveyor. Hire a licensed land surveyor, professional engineer, certified architect. This is what it looks like. Let's see. And again, this is not my computer, so I'm slow on this. Okay, so let's see, this is what it looks like. It looks kind of like your surveyor paperwork too, but it doesn't have a picture of your house. As you can see, it has the actual, kind of like the, of course, it has a property name on it. It's going to have the, which zones they're in, where it's at, all that different things on here. So that elevation certificate, like exactly that's what it pretty much looks like. You have it by a licensed surveyor. And then that's the one that you're going to upload once you make your sign on here. You're going to go to your sign on here, and then it's going to have a part in there where you're going to put your property appraiser and then your elevation certificate. And those two things are going to go in here. And now after so you've made your user password, you've signed in your information with your address, and then you've got your elevation certificate, and you got your proof that you own it. So it could be a deed, or you could go right to the property appraiser and click on the actual thing here, which was the printout. Let's see, where are we here? But if you need the deed, which I believe you do on here, you're going to go down to the bottom of the property appraiser office or property. You can click on that when you purchased it, and then the deed comes up. So you can see here's the deed for Florida. They're right on the property appraiser's office in Pasco anyway. Hernando is a little more difficult to do, but Pasco is pretty easy example here. So you've clicked just on the bottom, which, like I said, you have the deeds on the bottom of the actual property appraiser. So you just put your address in here, you put or you put your name, and then you hit enter, and then you go down to the bottom of when you actually purchased it. This property was purchased in 2004. And then these are all live here. So you can even go back to the people that purchased it prior, but you don't need to. But on here, that's another show. So you got your warranty deed 2004. You click on it, and then, like I said, there's your deed. You print that, or you just download it. And then when you go back to adding it in here, after you sign in, it's going to ask for proof of ownership, and that's where you're going to have to upload that. So now you got the two of them in there, and they're uploaded. So when you make that username and registration, it's going to, like I said, email an activation code, and it's all under FEMA.gov. And this little thing here, though, takes about, I would say the last one I did, I had one in Hidden Lakes, Newport Richey. That's an area where they have plains, and there are some ponds and stuff like that, and there's some water here and there in that neighborhood. So what I did was I did exactly what I told you guys. I went to FEMA.gov, made a username and a password for my customer. She got the email activation code. We entered it. I uploaded what she needed, and then she did have an elevation certificate, which I uploaded. And then it automatically sends them, if there's updates, it'll send them an email. And then it was taking between 4 to 6 weeks to actually to get this designation changed. So I do believe it takes a couple months at this point, 2 to 3 months. So if it doesn't come over right away, don't worry. So anyway, it'll send you a letter. And sometimes it's a little confusing when you do find out that you're actually, whether you got it or not. So it'll say general letter let me see if I can make this bigger. General letter of map change information. So on this, they're going to send you an email back, and it's going to tell you whether or not you've changed a designation. And these are all, what can you type? What can you do online? What is a letter of map change? So when you get this letter back, what you're going to do from that point is, if you have a lender, say for instance, you have Truist or you have Wells Fargo, and it's saying that you have to have flood insurance with your homeowner's policy, like in addition, what you're going to do is you're going to print out the LOMA letter that you're going to receive, and it's going to change the designation. You're going to send that to them, whether it says there's no requirement or whatever. You're going to send that to your actual SunTrust or Truist of your new designation of that. So now remember, all this stuff, you have to make sure it gets there. You have to make sure your designation changes on your property, all these things. And then eventually you don't have to pay flood insurance. It sounds like a lot of work, and it is kind of, I guess, a lot if you don't know, if it's new to you. But then in the end, you end up saving, like I said, quite a bit of money a year. I've done this several times for customers. The ones I've had where they don't receive any type of discount is going to be, like I said, if you get to the waterfront property where the Gulf of Mexico is in your backyard, probably not going to get a new FEMA code. What it really works well for is if you have, like I was saying, like a lake and your property, say it's a half acre and the lake's pretty far out, and your house is up here, but it shows you're in a flood zone. If you can see like the grading of your house actually going up and the water out here, then chances are it'll either take you out of the flood zone or it'll change your designation because it'll show that your house is not in a flood zone. And so that's something that actually works out real well as far as taking them out of the flood zone. I've had them in Veterans Village, which is off of Seven Springs, and I've had them go and be in a flood zone. And because of the what's it called? The Anclote River goes through there. So anytime they'll call it tidal, so tidal means that the water goes up and down. So for instance, if your property is tidal, if it's fed from the Gulf, whether it's that one's off of 54, State 54, and that's a long way for the Gulf to go, but they do consider it tidal because if the Gulf water goes up, we get more money in that way, we get more water in that way. And so basically, because it is tidal, that one did not change the designation. We did all the paperwork. They still have to pay flood insurance. It didn't go down or anything like that either. So, that's one of the things like, well, we tried, but like I said, Hidden Lakes, that one, definitely went down, and was took out of the flood zone area, redesignated, through Loma, through FEMA. So, that's awesome. Saved them like $500 a year. I had one in, Moon Lake, Newport Richey on the lake, took them right out of the flood zone. And I think like I guess like the red flag or like the heads up would be that you never were in a flood zone before. This was something that they just sent you the information and said, okay, now flood insurance is required. So when you see that happen, the chances of you being able to change that designation or lower it is probably better. I know that they change it every year because of the insurance companies and stuff like that. But if it's through the county and they just change your designation, most likely you have water near you or water close to the house if it's not touching your land. So those are better designations to basically to get you out of there. So when that happens, once you get approved, it goes right to your email address. And so here, after completing the online process, how long will it take for the letter of determination? And it's saying, let's see, it's within 60 days now. So that's good to know because I was saying it's 4 to 6 weeks. So 60 days is what they're saying at that. And then what is the LFD effect on insurance? Although FEMA may issue LFD to remove structure from it, conditional loan teams. Historically, 25% of all flood claims occur in areas outside of. Okay, so they're saying, well, some places, even though you have this done, might still require you to have the flood insurance. But a lot of these that I've seen, when they take them out 100%, then no flood insurance is required. How long does it take for FEMA? Once an application, all necessary data are received and applicable payments have been approved, FEMA will notify the applicant of determination electronically within 90 days of receipt of all required data. However, even though LOMC may waive the federal requirement for flood insurance, property owners should still evaluate the risk and consider investing in flood insurance. So disclaimer, you take yourself out of there, but we live in Florida, so it gets a little nutty with the floods, but they're saying that's on you, disclaimer. And then that kind of goes through. So it's saying like that one said 60s, other one said 90. so that's one of those things. Here's about the coastal analysis. Coastal analysis form provides basic information, the scope and methodology of coastal analysis that are prepared in support of the revision request. This form should be used with any revision. So this is noted to revise 1% annual change of floodplain. So on those, like I said, you don't really see a lot of the coastal flood stuff changing. But if you want to read about it, it's a lot of interesting stuff on here. And I know I talk fast, but it's basically, it sounds confusing and stuff. But basically, you just need your deed and elevation certificate, and then you can upload it. And then you just sit back and wait to see if they say yes or no. If they say you're out of the flood zone, then you just send that off to everywhere. And if you need help, just let me know. Like I said, it's basically just starting with that username, registration, email, activation code, just like everything nowadays. And then, it may take you a couple hours to figure it out, or maybe if you're computer savvy, 30 minutes to do it all. And then you have to wait. And then at the end of the day, if you save $500 a year, it's totally worth it. And like I was saying, if you need any help, just let me know, and I would be glad to help you on that. But that kind of gives you a brief, like a turbo, how to do it, So on this one, it says download a payment form, which we never had to do a payment before. Let's see what this is real quick. Federal emergency. Yeah, so this one, initial fee. I don't remember this having a fee on it. So unless they just started that, I don't think there is a fee still. I know one of my customers asked me that too, but anyway, I guess if you submit that, it will queue that whether or not there's a fee on there now. But everything otherwise, the only thing you're paying for is that elevation certificate. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Everybody stay tuned and join us back in just a second. Hi, welcome back. I'm Jessie Walters from Charles Rutenberg. And you know about how I always have that feel-good story of the week. This one is compliments of Bay News 9. It has a nature videographer, Michael McCarthy. He was flying a drone when he spotted a loggerhead turtle struggling in the red tide water. And anyway, when he had the drone, he was able, when you guys look on it and stuff like this, or you click on it, he was able to get the exact location in Indian Rocks Beach. So what he did was he had sent a link to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, which allowed the biologist in here to see exactly what was happening with the loggerhead. And then he sent the exact location. And then basically they saved him, and he helped out with the red tide and all that stuff, saved this turtle. And it's just one turtle, but it's kind of like a feel-good story of the week because it's just so nice. Last week, I think, or the week before, I told you guys about how I saved a rooster. And it's just like the little things, that make you laugh or like smile, because this one, I love turtles. And this one, they had some great pictures of the current bloom is very Seminole. I was struggling. So there's a couple of them on here. This one's a Seminole guy too. So here's this one. Let's see if it comes up. This is not my computer. Disclaimer. Okay, don't miss what's happening. That's what's saying. I'm missing what's happening. Uh-oh. This is probably not going to turn out good for me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so you can kind of see this one. He's got the look how big this turtle is. Yeah, so, of According balloons. So far it's killed like 104 turtles and some manatees. So it's nice to see something like, good news and stuff like that. So basically he's just zooming around with his drone, sees a turtle, suffering, and then sends it exactly to where, the people that are going to help him and stuff like that. Josh Rojas, I met Josh Rojas before. We had one of our neighbors, had a, problem. Basically, one of the workers had passed away in a boat, in a canoe, and they wanted to get a view of where it had happened. So they came, and he knocked on my door, and I didn't even know what was going on. I was cleaning, and it was Josh Rojas, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Josh Rojas," and I was like, and I had my hair in a ponytail, and I had no makeup on, and I was cleaning, and I smelled like bleach. And then he goes, "Would you like to come on? We'd like to do an interview in the backyard, blah, blah, blah." So I said, "No, go next door." My next door neighbor, he is Santa Claus. He wears red every day. His name's Charles, but he actually does Santa Claus gigs. He goes, actually, he hasn't in the last couple of years, but he usually does dress up like Santa Claus, goes to the malls and all the kids, he greets them. And he was like Santa Claus and his wife, Carol, Mrs. Claus. Well, anyway, they live next door. So I sent Josh Rojas next door to meet Santa Claus. He thought I was, I don't know, crazy or something. I was like, "Go next door and ask Santa Claus." So Santa Claus was on the news instead of me. So that's my story of how I met Josh Rojas. And anyway, so, but yeah, that is a nice story, a nice feel-good story for the day. And I also want to show you guys things to do in Clearwater Beach. I'd show you that beautiful sunset, right? So this is the other. So if you're a tourist or if you just live here, I want to give praise to this right here. Oops, no, Clearwater. We need Clearwater. I know they have this in Tampa too, but I want to show you guys this. So it was my birthday, and I couldn't think of what to do. So I decided my husband's like, "Where do you want to go? Let's go to dinner." So anyway, we ended up going on the yacht Starship cruise. I have it up here, and it looks super fancy, but it was actually it was nice, but it was laid back and stuff. And it was, they have all sorts of different things you can go on there, private cruises, public dining. So we went to the Clearwater one, which was a buffet. They have one for dinner and one for lunch, or buffet type dinners and stuff like that. Anyway, the food was really, really good. There's a sunset cruise, no dinner. You can go on there too. And, oh yeah, look, Jordan wants me to book it again. "Hi, can I ask you a question about Yacht Starship?" "Yeah, I want to go again." So I tried to get my husband to go back again for 4th of July. And he was like, "We just went there." So I'm working on that. But anyway, it was really nice. It has three different levels. So you got one level you walk in on, which is the buffet level, which actually the food was, like I said, really good. Most of the time, it's too greasy or too overprocessed, or or not very good. But the food was good. Had salmon. They had chicken and beef too, but I had salmon, and then a salad. It was Greek. It was really good, and the dressings were good. Everything was good. And anyway, then you go to the second floor. So I had paid $20 extra, but I wasn't sure what I had paid for. It said, "Is this a celebration?" And I put yes. So I was like, $20. So I was like, okay, what's another $20? We're going on this thing. Haven't told my husband how much it is. So this would be a surprise for him too. And then I'm like, okay, $20. And it said celebration was $20 extra. My husband was like, okay. So anyway, the buffet, everybody's downstairs. And then there's like a special, I guess, celebration room, which is what the $20 was for. So now I'm in the celebration room, second floor. And we're looking around. There's about 10 other people in the celebration room, lots of birthdays, lots of anniversaries. And the boat starts to pull out, and it's like real smooth running, just really, really, really nice and stuff. And the lady comes over and brings the appetizer and then says, "You got to go down to the buffet and get your own food," and stuff like that. Like I said, which is really good. Then you go out, and then they take you to where like the most beautiful sunsets. And that's where that sunset was that I actually put up there. I have probably 30 of them, but I figure I'll just show you, not to bore you guys too much. But that Florida Clearwater Beach sunset's always nice. So we sat out there, took some pictures, kind of the waitress came up and she took pictures of us too, and it was real nice. Met some crazy people on there, and then we went. Like I said, we ate. Then we walked around. Then by the time you're ready to you take your pictures and all that stuff. You already ate. They turn around. They're coming back. So it's like a 2-hour excursion, like Gilligan's Island kind of, but you don't get shipwrecked and stuff like that, which I wouldn't mind sometimes when I'm so busy, is just to be shipwrecked and not to have to work for a while. But anyway, we turned around and we're coming back, and people are taking pictures, and they're so then they start happy birthday to, and it was not just like happy birthday Jessie, it was like happy birthday to, Paul and Samantha and Melissa, and so there's so many. I think I was like the 10th one on there. I thought I had like this original idea until I heard about 20 people at the end with their birthdays, and then it went into anniversaries, and it was anniversary. So if you guys are looking to actually celebrate something, and it's a couple hours, but it's real special. If it's your anniversary or a birthday, it wasn't like a big birthday for me. It was just my birthday. I just was like, what can I do? So, but if it's like, say, a big birthday and you want to invite more people on, you can do that. There's all sorts of entertainment and stuff like that on here. Let's see. There's DJ music. They had all like 70s music on there, which was nice. My husband loves 70s music. They have coffee, tea, water. They have a bar. They have a buffet. And then there's a sunset cruise, which is no dinner. And then you just go out for a 2-hour cruise and stuff too, with the DJ on there again. I didn't actually see the DJ, but I heard the music and stuff. It was actually, like I said, good music. And then if you do go, remember, don't go from Clearwater Beach. Like, you've spent all day, you're fried in the sun, and you've got your bathing suit on, and you figure you're going to go there. They won't let you on there if you've got like backwards ball caps. They won't let you on there if you have like your bathing suit on and you've got, say, like a mesh cover up, and you're like, this looks cute. They're not going to let you on there. I mean, they literally spell it out. Do not wear mesh. Dress casual attire. We ask guests not to wear like graphic t-shirts with offensive language, jerseys, torn pants, which, I think most of my jeans are torn now because I think that's the style, but I would have got kicked off if I would have worn that. And then, so they say mesh outfits, like cover ups and stuff like that. So don't wear those outfits. But anyway, they have, it's from like, I want to say it's like from $65, depending on all the way up to, $150, just depending on which, and kids are like $50 each. So it's a little bit on the pricey side if you're, if you're actually, you're bringing your kids and stuff like that. And I did see kids on there and they look bored out of their minds. So if you have like a teenager, don't bring them with you. If you can not bring them with you, don't. Trust me on this one. They were taking pictures for people and stuff, but they were like one of those, like, can I go now? So they were not into it. But anyway, so if you do go, like this one, next available, I'll just click on this to show you guys. If you do go, it'll say Sunset Cruise, like it'll say be there, like these are at 7 p.m. The ones that you can see on the side here. When you click on it and when you sign up for it, it literally will say, let's just do one adult. And okay, one adult, Sunset, this will give you an idea. I don't know if they're going up, so you can kind of see, here's much upgrade, celebration package. That's what I did. Oh, I got a picture. That's what I got. And an appetizer for the celebration package. And then guaranteed window, you can pay for a window seat if you want, and all that stuff. But if you're going to go, make sure you go earlier, to actually get there, because Clearwater Beach, if you haven't been there a while, there is the parking and stuff like that is crazy. And so we had to get there by the boat sails at 5:30 and they do not wait for you. So if you leave out, and so it's always an hour from, say, Pasco to Clearwater Beach, always an hour. Well, I put in the navigation was 1:15 and it was 1:20. And I'm like, oh no. So we end up to get there for 5:00. We end up leaving around like 3:30, 3:40. And my husband's like, we're kind of early. I think we're really jumping the gun. Well, anyway, we got there like right on time, and they said they do not wait. So if you if you get there and you're like, oh, it sails at 5:30 and like this one says 7, but if they say they're sailing at 7, don't think you're going to get there at 7:15 and they're still going to be there. They're not going to be there. They don't wait. So if you guys decide to do it, just make sure, you're planning ahead and then you're actually going to be there on time. I know some of my relatives would probably not be able to make it. We're going to have to tell them. If we go back on with relatives, we're going to have to tell them it leaves at 5 instead of 5:30 to get them there on time, because there's no way, So they have, it's actually really good. And there's one, this one actually goes out of Tampa too. So you can go, I think, to the Bay. And we were talking about doing something like that. Maybe, you could really make this into quite an adventure during the summertime and stuff like that. They have the Tampa area ones too. Let's see, holiday events, private. I don't know if it's owned by the same company, but this one turned out really good. There's even weddings and Mother's Day cruises. Like I said, July 4th, Easter cruises, St. Patty's. So Friday they'll have one, and they have Tampa. That was the one I was talking about. Tampa there. I don't know if it looks like it's the same exact company, Starship, again on Tampa. Now I haven't gone on this one, but I'm assuming it's the same. Tampa Bay brunch, dinner cruise, same exact thing. I don't know where that actual boat goes, but as you can see, it looks like right by the Tampa Bay Convention Center. So it looks like a nice area there too, where you can see the sunset and stuff too. So that would be fun as well. Like if you go in there, maybe even during 4th of July or something like that, so you can see the fireworks right over. And that one has brunch cruise, lunch cruise, dinner cruise, holiday and special event cruise. So it's got pretty much the same thing. And let's just see if that one next available. Oh, St. Patty's Day buffet cruise. Okay, let's just see how much. Let's just see, one person going to St. Patty's Day, $54. So, I mean, it's like $75 and then gratuity and checkout. So, and they also ask you to tip, I think, separate too when you get on there. But so for $75, hopefully you have friends. You're not going on here by yourself. I know some people like to do that stuff by themselves, but this one's like $75 for 2 hours on St. Patty's Day, and it's a lunch buffet cruise. So that's kind of cool and stuff too. So that's something new to do in Florida. And what was going to say? So I like to show you guys, I always say we live where everybody vacations. So, become a tourist in your own town and try to get out there and do something different. Clearwater Beach has the red tide right now, which is, you would think would affect this, but it didn't affect it at all. I don't know if it's because we had the rain prior to getting there, but it didn't affect our time, or there was no smells or anything like that. I do have a friend who went to Clearwater Beach to kind of enjoy it. She had company in town, and she said that her eyes burned, and they were sneezing and coughing and stuff right away. But this was like last month, so I don't know if it's cleared up a lot, because I did see, loads of tourists. So like I was saying, when you go into Clearwater Beach, there's a parking spot, kind of a hidden parking spot. Instead of going out to the roundabout when you get there and heading out to the major parking spots, there's a couple of new little parking spots. It looks like just a dirt parking lot, but they have it all, automated and stuff like that. So they used to give you a ticket, and then the people ahead of you would say, hey, you want my time left on my ticket? Well, now you have to put your actual license plate in there, and there's no more tickets. There's no more people helping people out with the tickets. So you've got to put your license plate in there and then pay for the day. So get ready. The parking was like $40. So I was like, the tickets, $75. This doesn't make any sense. It's like half the price, but I'm sure if you actually look around, and it's not as busy of time, you'll find a better price for parking. But yeah, that one was really expensive. And it was, because I think of the time that we'd gone there. So we had to be there, like I said, on the boat at 5:30, and you start to get desperate because you're sitting in traffic for so long. So you're ready to pay anything for it. So I unfortunately did end up paying $40, and when we got out, the whole place was empty. There was parking everywhere. I was like, we could have saved $40, but we made I hate to lose $40, but then I also hate to miss the trip because we were being cheap and not wanting to spend $40. So there was a couple spaces right next to the boat, And just heads up, if you do go and you park right next to the boat, the reason nobody parks there is because the pelicans, they happen to fly over. So you guys do the math on that. Literally pelican poop. This one car just got blasted when we were there. And it was, we were all in a line to go on the boat. And for some reason, the pelicans just go right there. It's like pelican poop magnet. So the cars that were there were all covered in pelican poop, and the people almost got covered in pelican poop too. So if you do go and you're signing in, that's right where they go over. So heads up. I know it's supposed to be good luck if they do poop on you. It's good luck, bird poop. So keep that in mind too. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great, blessed day. I had one property. I don't know if it's too late to put that one up, but I did have Commercial Way, US Highway 19 in Brooksville. That one, I'll just tell you guys, is still available. It's 1.5 million. It's 20 acres, just under 20 acres, buildable about half. So if anyone's looking for a prime position, that one is available. So you guys have a blessed day, and come visit me next week, and I'll be back on to give you more real estate updates.